test during COVID. There is more deal flow. There are women entrepreneurs who are more women stepping up for funding. And the key sectors that we're seeing that are ripe for angel investment, of course, are healthcare, wellness, edtech, femtech, collaborative platforms, silver care, the economy, and agri-tech. All those things that we can do to build back better. Things are not moving fast enough, so we need to move forward. Some best practices in angel investing in mixed and women-only angel networks. There's some great boot camps going on for angel investing. So I will share that with you afterwards through Virginia. And I'd like to showcase 37 angels, pipeline angels. They're excellent. And in particular in the the UK government has a very good policy on angel investments called EIS and SEIS, where personal angels like you can get 50% back on the money you invest in a tax reduction. So that's interesting. So how can you become an angel? Start by doing equity crowdfunding. That way you can start to get a little piece of a company. Go to pitch competitions and startup events or local women entrepreneur events. Find your local angel association and seek out those experienced angels and start investing alongside the experienced people before you branch out and grow further. Stay tuned because you've heard from Virginia. You're going to hear more from We Act, our action coalition, to increase the number of angel investors and angel networks through peer learning, action coalitions, and best practice showcases. And my call to you, women, become angel investors. Men, invest more in women-owned SMEs. Governments, create attractive tax incentives for investors to invest in women entrepreneurs. And remember, last thing, the power of your purse. The best form of funding, everybody, for women entrepreneurs is to buy our products and services. And that you can all start doing now. So, Michaela reminded us that gender equality is the smart thing to do. So be smart, switch on the power of your purse so that we can recover together, recover stronger, and build forward better.
Thank you so much, Anne Ravanona. Our second financial speaker is Ayaka Matsuno, a Japanese delegate who formerly worked with the UN Development Agency program, the International Labor Organization, and the Japanese International Development Program known as JICA. She now runs a $100 million gender investment and innovation program for the Sasakawa Peace Foundation in Tokyo. It's called the Asia Women Impact Fund, or AWIF. Ayaka, you have the floor. Ayaka, were they able to get you unmuted and get the camera working?
I saw Ayaka, but Ayaka, can you turn on your camera?
She was apparently having trouble. That's why we changed the order.
Yeah, and we also have pretty much technical difficulties here too. But we hope Ayaka is still over there.
The last I heard from her, Ayaka, can you speak and see if we can hear you? Because she has really important information to share with us.
Yeah, I bet so. Ayaka, can you hear us? Okay, then. Virginia, maybe you can fill it in.
Well, I do not have, wait. Ayaka? Okay, I do not have a copy of Ayaka's speech, but let me see what I can remember. The Sasakawa Peace Foundation is an organization that during the Japanese W20, after it was over, Megumi Ishimoto who co-chaired women's entrepreneurship and finance with me at that point, went to meet with the Sasakawa Peace Foundation, which is a very distinguished foundation that is probably one of the main foundations in Japan that focuses on gender. At that point, they did not have a gender specialist, and Megumi, who had very important social enterprise in Japan, and I met with them about how extremely important we thought it was that they have a major program focusing on women's entrepreneurship. We did this about a week after the Japanese summit was over. And with the breathtaking background that Ayaka-san has, again, her name is Ayaka Matsuno. She's the director of the Asian Women Impact Fund, focused on gender investment and innovation. She has a $100 million fund that is a Pan-Asian fund, as I understand it. And since she was not able to participate in this program because of some technical challenges, she's been on Zoom all day and everything was working fine for her earlier. But I will make sure that she is profiled within a future We Act initiative, because it's very important that we develop relationships like this at the global level, at the regional level, etc. So all of the ASEAN and East Asian W20 should be very, very interested in what the AWIF program is like. They're an incredibly sophisticated impact investment organization. Megumi had told me a lot about them beforehand. And when I saw Ayaka's bio on the Sasakawa website, I thought, oh my goodness, what breathtaking experience this woman has. She's so well trained, and not only academically, she also was a TV program director, the only woman who was the TV program director with NHK, the big Japanese entity. So we will hear more of the magnificent Ayaka. And I am so sorry she is not able to be with us, because we could have learned so much from her. So I would like to say many thanks to our wonderful W20 delegates for their insightful contributions today. In honor of International Women's Day, we wish the world peace, prosperity, and equality. Thanks to our wonderful panelists today. Back to you, Deba.
Thank you so much, Virginia, for the back-to-back sessions. And thank you so much for Ann Simmons, Barbara Cleary, Ayaka Matsuno, even though she was here, but unfortunately she cannot make it, probably because of the technical problems. Thank you so much to Anna Rafanona, Marina Gurgel, and Yasim Savage. And we have so many data and also facts about the good practices from your countries. It's an honor to have you all, and hopefully we could see each other tomorrow night, yeah, in Indonesia time. All right, thank you so much again, Virginia. So after hearing 3 opening presentations and 6 good practices, I would like to invite several delegates and participants to give their comments. Ya, mungkin yang ada di sini ingin memberikan komen atas 3 opening presentation kita, dan juga tadi ada good practices from delegates, ya. So I would like to invite Etienne Parizol. Are you there, Etienne? To give 1 or 2 minutes comments on the issue.
Yes, sorry, I was confused by the schedule. Yes, I'm happy to share some words about our experience on the ground with directors of companies and CEOs of different enterprise. And so the starting point is at the source of our organization, which is called Jamais sans elles, as you can see behind me. It means never without them in English, well, in French. So it started with a call, which is a commitment by which a signatory commits to never participate anymore to a panel or roundtable or jury or public debate or conference, anything, if they are only men. So that's a very simple principle, which can be applied immediately by anyone. It's just in our hands. It does not depend on a law or whatever. You just do it. I mean, if you're serious about gender equality and women representation and participation in public debate and economy, you just don't go if there are no women, and not tomorrow. You just do it now. It's really up to you. So this proved very efficient, that, and it led many men to simply cancel their participation to events, and it puts a lot of pressure on organizers. And this raised considerably the level of awareness of this problem of women representation in particular. And based on this principle, we started to work with private companies and enterprises to build charters to help them accompany their transformation towards inclusive and gender balanced management and development. So these charters are co-elaborated, and so of course they include the Jamais sans elles principle, but they go much further, adapting to the context of the different businesses. So not only the CEO of the company, but all the board members signed the Jamais sans elles commitment on their own name, but they had additional disposition for the ruling of the company. Not only for their external presentation, but also their internal meetings and communication and their relation with clients and so on. They always have to include women. And this works very well because, in fact, it's not a request from us to the companies, it's a request of the companies. They come to us and help them to make progress in the recognition and inclusion of women in the leadership position and things like that. So they put pressure on them on themselves to make a change, and they are committed to respect the charter because they co-elaborated it. So I think this is a good way forward. First, you must be convinced that equality and full participation of women in leadership is good for everyone, and then you take official commitment that prevents you to go backwards when it looks easier. So I don't know, if I may say just one word, I'd like to point out that companies understand more and more that it's in their best interest to pay attention to gender equality and promotion of women talent. And the way I see it is that there's some sort of what I would call an anti-Peter principle. You're probably familiar with the Peter principle, which observes that the employees are promoted based on their success in previous jobs and until they reach a level at which they are not no longer competent. And so eventually any position ends up being occupied by someone who has reached their level of incompetence, and that's obviously not good. But I think that women rarely reach their level of incompetence because they are stopped before, and not just before, which would be good, I guess, but long before. And that's obviously bad. And that's not only unfair for women, that's tragic for everyone, actually. So this must be corrected. And I think the managers will understand that this is, I mean, if they understand this interest, they are ready to put high pressure on themselves to achieve the best use of available competence. And that's good news. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Etienne, for your comments. And I would like also to have Ibu Diah Eko from Kohani, Bidang Pendidikan, to have 1 or 2 minutes comments. Go ahead, Ibu Diah Eko. Silahkan, Ibu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you very much to moderator for the time given to me. I want to highlight the presentation, 3 presenter, Ms. Emily, Miss Makala, and Ibu Nani. My experiences research and assisting business of culinary, jamu, heritage traditional, business in village tourism. I have found many problems, namely to Miss Emily, financial problems. The trader have very small capital, non-bankable, and difficult in administration. He was mostly happen to developing countries in general. Therefore, my recommendation for government to give more access easily to women entrepreneurs. Second, for economic gender problems, women are weak in information and technology. But at this time, there is an acceleration by COVID-19 times, especially from direct sales to virtual, like GoFood and GoSend. My comment to Ibu Nani, my recommendation, government should provide how to help women understand, practice the internet business by education and training. For women roles in micro business, government policy on assistance in small micro business, government should be consistent and provide structural assistance by sending duty officer. That's all my comment. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
evening.
Thank you. Good evening, Ibu. Thank you so much, Ibu Dia Eko. Dan and another comments from Ibu Hikmah Dini. I would like to have you in front of the flags. Ibu Hikmah Dini is from Koani Economic section.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead,
Ms.
Ibu.
Tiba. Good morning and good evening. The comment or problem of female entrepreneurs, either those who heal or own, MSMEs is less. Access to external financial, lack of professional network. And this difficult tool is to get advice when facing a business, a crisis, etc. So we hope this W22 should find a concrete solution for all those problems. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Hikmah Dini. And I guess that's the end of our session. We hope that you get a lot of underlining important points from all the speakers. And we are very sorry for any technical difficulties that we face, but let's hope that we can hear all of the speakers, what were they saying and what are actually the key of this session means. All right, so I guess I have to, yeah. So I guess I have to end the session and inviting you to join the day 2 session tomorrow around 3 o'clock Indonesia time. Thank you so much for your participation, for your attention, and once again, sorry for the delay a little bit. I'll see you tomorrow. My name is Faradiba signing off, and I'm giving the floor to the MC. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.